time being in 6 p.m. Looks like we've got all magistrates present except Cheyenne Holbrook. So thank you, magistrates, for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you, citizens, for coming, and speakers for being here. Number one on the business agenda, discussion with Mark Cox, and I see he's present. Looks like he has an entourage. And I know one of them very well, known my whole life. So, Mark, the floor is yours, sir.
I didn't know we were going to this place.
We usually in a special meeting, we do not.
Okay.
Yeah, it suits, we can. Okay.
It's your court.
That's a citizen's court. Usually in a special meeting, we roll.
So we've done a little bit so far. Started some clearing. Brought Jeff Potts. He did logging, ran equipment for him. He took a look at the road down through there, and also a representative from the Corps of Engineers. So the easements for Elliott County and for me are being written up evidently right now, is what she just told me. Frank's writing those up. I'm assuming that we'll be able to see copies of them pretty soon. I don't know. I'm going to let Jeff talk about the road because he's infinitely more qualified than I am about what the road would probably need. So, you're up,
What Mark's got in mind with this kayak launch, we walked that, it's the old road bed. Of course, everybody knows that area. It's primarily stone. There's a few major ditches cut that we're looking at filling with bigger stone, just to fill the voids, and then covering that with finer gravel to make a nice, smooth walkway. I don't see a lot of excavating to be done because, like I said, most of it's rock. So there may be some small scraping. We've got trees, some more trees to move, down trees because of the ice storm. Brought stuff down. It's going to make the county a real nice piece when he's done.
One of the things we were looking at when we were going down through the road, one of the areas has and I want to try to keep the drainage as natural as possible. That'll reduce the erosion later on. If we do it right when we start, we ain't going to have to worry about it later. There's one portion down through there that I promise you, y'all are going to require a fence. And so I mean, that's going to be, there's some underlying things with construction that are going to come to light. Nothing major though. I mean, honestly, the grading it with a track hoe and graveling, smooth it with. We need something on the larger gravel underneath, some type of a bonding agent similar to what we did at the golf course in all the bunkers. They were called billy bunkers. And I wanted to get that stuff off the golf course, guys, but the only people that will install that are the billy bunkers, and that's probably going to be a little bit out of our price range. So I'm sure there's another bonding agent that we can go along and spray on the big gravel underneath so we can keep the natural drainage. Right over the waterfall, where you're going to go down to the actual launch itself, of course, probably going to require a bridge there. Well,
Let me just interject for just a second. I'm a little bit unclear from where you started this analysis. The first question that I would have is there an existing county road that's on the county road system
Yeah, it
that
used to be
you're
Fox
talking
Road.
about? Okay. Is it already on the county system?
I believe that it was.
When was it last maintained?
That I don't know, but I've had 2 or 3 people tell me the school bus used to go down through there.
It did. That'd be in my precinct, and I don't.
Is it on the map?
It's not. I don't think it has been for probably 25, 30 years.
There's a process to put a road on the county road system before any county money could be spent to improve it.
What do we got to do?
How much time do you have? I mean, KRS 178 is the section that defines the process to put a road on a county road. There's a system to have it analyzed, and you have to advertise for it to be put on the county system. I mean, there's a statutory process by which the county adds any road into the county system. That's why I was curious, is it already there? Because if it's not, that's the first thing really that must be done
Okay.
any county funds can be used to improve it. That wouldn't be any different than me asking them to come and improve the road that goes to my barn. It first must be made a county road before the fiscal court can approve its improvement.
Well, that makes sense.
So, I mean, you're talking about a little bit of road and things that need to be done, but the first thing is to get it on the county map.
How do we get this process started?
There's a process that's in our administrative code. Your magistrate will be happy to share with you that administrative code to tell you about how that's done. And there's a process that we go through here to have that done. You can speak to your magistrate about that outside of the meeting to tell you about how that gets done.
Whatever.
There's posting requirements that require the notice to be posted within so many feet of the road, and then there has to be a hearing that's held, and the fiscal court then nominates somebody to go out and view the road, and there's a process that's in our code to get it done, and we can speak to you outside of the
Absolutely.
public meeting.
I mean, I'm all in on this project. so
Is
whatever
that
I
your
can do to make
precinct,
that
Dewey?
happen.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Dewey will share that process with you, and work with you to
Yeah,
get that done.
whatever.
The line's right there at his house, like,
Yeah, it's.
it's right there at his house, it's all big, no.
Sounds like a great project, there's just a process. that
Actually,
we have to
George
go
and
through.
them all vote, everything from,
He votes here for County Road, and then everybody on Piskin votes down the road.
no, everybody passed him the other way.
That's what I'm talking about, the other way.
No, that's what I'm saying, they all vote Bruin too.
Right. Well,
Joe
we need to
Warren's
start
all
with that.
vote Bruin.
Right,
Get it
it
in
comes
the
back
county.
toward the main road, toward 7, Joe Lane and all them votes up there at County Road. He's cut the cutoff right there at his property, I think, precinct right there.
I can also give you the admin code. We'll work through it.
Yeah.
But that entire road, that old Foxhall Road, that
That'd
used to
be-
be all on mine.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, because I went back and looked at that here a while back, somebody asked about it, I'm like, it's like 30, 40 years.
It's been a long
A
time.
long time.
I can remember they run the bus through there when I was in school. I'm not gonna tell you how many years back. It's been a long time.
That's before my time, I remember we used to drive it all the
39
time.
years since I lived here back then. No,
We
you
should
don't
drive it all.
You're right.
Or Ridgeway, go best up there.
Yep.
Or
They
Ridgeway,
come out there over on his road in Iron Cove.
that comes out there, yeah, right on Ridgeway. It follows the lake, it's beautiful out there. I'm like,
Well, you can't get all the way through it right now. because
yeah, it's, last time I was through there, it was 5, 6 years ago, you couldn't get through it.
Yeah, I just.
Trees and
I
laid
just got an
out.
Argo, you can't get through there.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you can't get through
You
there.
think Sherman can get through that?
What is Frank's group working on right now?
Just the initial stages of everything. He had me step in, it's just, I'm in the bare minimum of what's going on. I'm just kind of a fill-in, but I'm not sure what all has been done up to this point and what all is still in the process of being done right now.
Okay,
I'm here to take notes essentially.
all right. So let me wrap my hands around this a little bit. You've got property. The Corps of Engineers is going to work with you, and then the probability is us to establish a kayak launchway on your property.
Technically, no. My property is a throughway. The kayak launch itself is on the Corps of Engineers property.
Okay, so we're going to work through you with the Corps
Yes, sir.
to get down there.
I just happen to own the Bear Flats end of that road.
Okay.
I don't know who owns the Horton Flats end, but I own the Bear Flats end, and it's traversable now to the launch.
Okay.
I mean, you could hump a kayak down there now if you really wanted to, but you need to be in shape. You know, and
Really be,
you really would, but if we make a nice, it's a very gentle grade, it's about a 10-minute walk, and to ford a kayak, there's only one slight portion, and that's a very gentle uphill grade, and that's only maybe 30 feet, maybe 30 yards, if that.
Are you free tomorrow morning? No.
Tomorrow afternoon I am. Early tomorrow morning, I have to take my uncle to the eye doctor. I gotta pick him up about a little before 11.
Early or at 8:30?
Heck yeah, I'm available.
I will be at your house.
I'll be ready.
At 8:30 tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
I want to walk this. I I'm a visual person, I've got to see it. I want to come down there and I want to take a look at it.
If you want to come earlier, I get up whenever it's
Well,
done.
I may have to deliver some tractor, I've got some magistrates that are pushing me to get some mowing done, so I may have to deliver some tractor drivers to some tractors. So, but I can commit to you at 8:30.
Yes, sir.
If I can get someone else to make that delivery for me, would 8 a.m. be okay?
Yes, sir. Well, when you let me know when I'll be ready.
Well, just plan on 8 a.m.
Yes, sir.
And if I'm not there at 8 a.m., it's because I'm delivering tractor drivers.
I'll be waiting on you right there.
Okay, and I will come in and we will walk this, and if I need to take some photos and share it with the magistrates so they can start wrapping their arms around this as well. Your energy that you put forth in this is crazy, and I appreciate it.
Well, we've got, like I said before, we've got a hidden gem here.
Yes, we do.
My career's taken me all over the world, and this is, without a doubt, one of the prettiest places I've ever seen. And my front yard is really pretty. And with that being a launch, the potential for Elliott County it's.
Yeah, magistrates, somebody's put their head together about this. We'll roll through the legalities.
And like I said, I voted I don't want to. Because my land is just the throughway. It's just how you're going to get folks to it.
Yeah, it's good to see a gray uniform sitting there, it's not a trooper. I don't care if she does say she's here to take notes. You're welcome here anytime. I love to see the Corps, we want to work with the Corps the most we can to do more for our county.
This is an idea that's definitely, it's in the works, that we hope, we're praying. But everyone knows it's kind of a long process to go through anything with the Corps, so it's just about time. But it is pretty important for us to have promote recreation, and kayaking right now here has like exponentially grown even since I've been here the last couple of years. So it's definitely going to be a popular spot.
All right, we'll do our best to, as legal as possible, but as expeditious as possible, we'll try to make this work.
Yeah.
And we'll try to hopefully have some folks that can enjoy this trail. We'll see where this goes, but I'm very hopeful.
Yes, sir. We've really got something to work with.
That's great.
Hey, Mark, I know you had talked about you want to do like the different pickups to bring there.
Well, that's the initial idea.
Right. Do you have a time frame of, want to start maybe March, April, end in October?
Roughly, I was thinking normal summertime, somewhere around.
Okay. Because I'd like to see tourism, once we get this, get it locked down.
There's some winter ideas in the works too.
Absolutely. I'm thinking about that kayak and 28 degrees.
Well, with the Argo and them lower the lake, 15 foot in the center, it exposes the gravel roadbed underneath there. And with the track Argo, you can go all over the place.
Yeah.
And it makes a fantastic winter tour, fall tour.
Awesome.
Just kind of thinking out loud.
No, it's not. Thank you. Anything else? Anything
No,
further
sir.
from
I just wanted y'all to have the update, and I want to obviously keep y'all in the loop.
Where it's at.
We're trying to do.
I get a lot of requests and a lot of phone calls, and they're all appreciated, but I really see someone take the initiative to jump into this and really get rolling. I really appreciate it.
That's what our country's all about.
Thank
We
you,
all
sir.
get together. Many hands make light work.
Right. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
And number 2, discuss, approve any changes to the admin code. You'll have a few days to look at it, and I want to give you something else to think about that I think we might need to look into as well. And it's, in the admin code, it says that we need at least 2 proposals for work up to $30,000. I would like to have that changed or amended to some capacity, and here's why. If it is I want to say a dire need, that when you all act in a fiscal court setting to assist something in the community that needs help right away, and we have a proposal that you feel, not me, but you feel is probably the lowest proposal bid that you would receive, and it's something that needs impacted ASAP, I would ask that we would look to amend that in that capacity. An example, you have a senior center in your community with the heater completely broken, or the air conditioner is completely broken. We need that fixed, we need to move on it, and we need to get that taken care of ASAP. During that time of the need for heat or the need for air, there may not be two proposals to be garnered in the time that it would be necessary to protect those citizens. And that's just one example. I would ask that you all allow the amendment to go through to say, in so many words, and Johnny, you can step in here anytime, that if there is a proposal on the table, and the proposal is probably the lowest proposal you're going to see anyway from an approved vendor that the county has anyway, and we need that maintenance or whatever that task done, that we would call a meeting. You all would then look over what the need is, and we could then approve based on what you see, based on the proposal in front of you, to go ahead and take care of that need. To go out and get two more proposals or another proposal, it can take more days, at which point it can be colder and colder, and closing the facility, in my opinion, whenever we could have just went ahead and moved with an approved vendor. And this opens up something else. Maybe next time we take bids, we look into having an approved vendor for HVAC, plumbing, and electrical on, that we take those bids in the beginning for 1 year, for 12 months, and we run with that vendor, and we approve to look over their proposals, and you all approve those proposals. Right now, the senior center has 2 air conditioning units that I've had fixed or repaired 3 times in the last probably 4 weeks, and I now have a proposal ready to replace 2 units over there. 1 air conditioning unit is working, the other 2 are very limping along, and from my understanding, they're around 12 to 20 years of age. So it's time. Also, you've got folks that work in that facility, and you have folks who come and visit the facility daily to eat or to recreate there. And as it stands right now, knowing even if we approve, if we had a special meeting again, and I put another, I called around and got someone else to give me a proposal, then you've got to order those parts and wait for those parts to come in. Whereas if you all looked over a proposal in front of you and you said, this looks good to us, it has this warranty, and especially now that it has the terminology where it has filtration systems to fight COVID virus, to capture COVID virus, you all could then make the decision to go ahead and move and get that repair started. Which means if they had parts in-house, they could do it as quick as the schedule would allow. If they had to order, they would do it as quick as the schedule would allow, plus the time of parts to come in. That's not what, that hit me today. That's what the senior center is dealing with right now. They have 1 air conditioner working the whole facility, and they want it fixed.
So what are you asking again then?
I'm asking for us to make an amendment to the amendment, whereas right now it states anything over $29.99.99 or $3,000 that we get 2 proposals.
It's 20,000 in there.
It's $30,000 for sealed bids. It's proposals over $3,000, unless it's budgeted. What I'm asking is for you all to make an amendment in there to say that if there is a need, and I'll stop short of saying an emergency need, but if there is a need where something needs repaired right now, and we have a proposal that you deem is a solid proposal, that you approve me to go ahead and get this process started. I don't want to close the senior center, and we have renters over there, so I don't know how, I would have to pull a contract with Home Place and pull a contract with Northeast.
So you're saying start the proceeding?
I'm saying make an amendment to our admin code to where if you all saw a need and we had a proposal and it fell within the criteria that you feel and the price from a qualified vendor that we've used, we go ahead and fix it.
That you can just go ahead and purchase it?
No, not without your approval.
Johnny, is there anything else in KRS code and regulations that would prevent us from doing that if we do an amendment to our administrative code? Is our administrative code all to cover that, or are there other stipulations and codes through the state?
Well, there's that model procurement code that applies anytime that the county is going to buy certain things where you have to take bids at a certain price.
Over what amount?
$30,000.
30,000.
So there's nothing under $30,000. My question is, then there's nothing in the state regulations that would prevent us from doing that if we approve it as a fiscal court in the administrative code?
I think that's true. I think what your judge is asking about is that you suspend that two bid requirement as is written in the code now, to just make it one, but still he's saying that be on fiscal court approval.
Right.
But he'd not do it until you approve it.
I don't
So
have
it just
the
had
authority
to be two bids, just to be one.
And there's,
So
there's a lot of times you don't even have two people like what you're talking about. But at the same time, and this is just me, but I think it does need to have some kind of language that restricts it to only be used
What
during
makes-
certain events to keep
Well, you
whoever's
could-
sitting up there here from deciding they want to bring somebody in.
What I
and
would
just get them
think
bids.
you could possibly do is you would have to have approval that this is deemed like an emergency or
It needs to
anything.
have some kind of language.
Once that's done, then boom. So, because
Let me
it
ask
still
you-
has to come to the fiscal court to get that approval regardless. So
Right.
if the court agrees that, yes, this is an emergency need or an immediate need, then from that point,
And that was my point, there needs
Yeah.
to be language in there.
Yeah, if we can word it like that, I think that's completely
Not
fine.
just open-ended, the
Yeah.
word, you know, there
But
needs to
then-
be an imminent need or
Don't
emergency.
don't we already do that?
I think you have to
But
define
this-
an emergency, what you know, because.
There needs to be some definition, but in my opinion, in some way, put in there of what we,
Don't we
Or
already
you
do
could
that
say,
anyway? Because if
maybe
we
for
put out for
electric
bids, we only get one bidder, that's all we got.
Specifically, I don't know.
But what I'm saying is forego putting it out for bids. We have a bid here, ready to go.
multiple bids.
Yes. Yeah, multiple, but you gotta have a bid. I just can't go,
We've
you
got to
go.
have two bids the way it's written right now. He's asking to go back to one.
We bid it with one.
Well, I
If
know.
we put it out for bid and only one comes back, well,
You're wanting to do the advertising, do away with the advertising, is what you're actually saying.
I'm wanting you to have the ability to recognize when it's important enough to do so. Not just me coming in here and saying, okay, we've got this project coming up, I'd like to go ahead and just take one bid. No. I'm saying we need an air conditioners replaced across the street. And if we go in for two bids, I call another special meeting and then we open those bids, or I put those bids in front of you, you're looking at next week. And then if someone is not able to make it to court or the parts aren't ordered yet, then you're next week ordering the parts. Meanwhile, are we in breach of contract across the street with our renters? I don't know, I'd have to pull contracts. But what I do know is this would expedite getting the air conditioners fixed. New units, two new units put over there for those individuals, and they can, it would be faster and it would be done.
You're wanting to make the process faster.
I do in if it's freezing cold or if we're in a sweltering heat, because it's 90 plus degrees.
Well, and we could add language to
Yeah,
to
like you
state
said,
that. So-
put that in there.
Because you are, as Charles said, you're actually skipping the advertising part of it too, putting it out for bids.
It's true.
Well,
So do we have any problems through the state when we do that?
Well, what I think, if you want to go down the road, what you would have to come up with would be certain language. And then you would have to approve that amendment to the code as written. And in the meantime, I'll run that by Rich and Keiko, that he approves that language to see if there's any problem whatsoever in doing it.
That's what we need
I
to
think
do.
what,
We need to
you're,
make sure.
you're wanting to change the process, but tonight you would agree on certain language. So it would have to be written up and approved in that form. And in the meantime, I'll run it by Keiko.
So
See, because I was thinking that if there was an emergency situation anyway, that's the process we went ahead and done. He got the bids, we called the meeting, we had the meeting, and it's done.
Yeah.
That's what I was already in, I thought that was already in play.
My understanding is without necessarily an emergency, like an ice storm.
Well, that ain't an emergency per se, but still something.
Well, we don't have to be under an emergency order, but it could still be an emergency for us.
That's right.
Without me signing an executive order.
Or
Yeah, we have a countywide emergency.
well, to give you a good example, the grader last year. Grader broke, part was $10,000, you didn't get no bids on that, you just had to have it fixed. You had a meeting, you had, this is what you had to pay to get it done, they approved it and it was fixed. I don't know the difference, what we're trying to add here, I'm not being trying to cause problems, I'm just confused, because I thought we started using the state process. Why do we need to change something if it's not?
I didn't have it on the agenda tonight. And if I work it into this as moving forward, when we have an emergency like this that falls in my lap, it would allow me to then say, all right, tomorrow, we're gonna have a meeting for you all to approve this. Or for you all to consider to approve this. The grader was in the budget.
It was just the spend that we had to vote on.
It was spending we voted on.
Yeah, not the,
The maintenance of the grader that is in the overall county budget, the maintenance. This, I don't have this isn't something, upkeep of senior citizen, I didn't say
Saying it's not, that you're not budgeting for a replacement or something like that.
It's gonna be used with those federal funds.
We're gonna pay for this with federal funds that will
With
be
the
available to us
the
tomorrow.
American Recovery.
Because that is a COVID-related repair. It's even in the proposal.
So my question is, while if we amend our amendment, do you need to go ahead and, I don't know, since it's not a list, I guess we couldn't, but get the ball rolling and fix it in there?
Yes.
Can we do that tonight, or is that something we need?
You have the, right, they
We
have
don't, in a special meeting, we can do that even though it's not.
well, we're talking about amendment. If you make the amendment, then tomorrow I can get this thing. If you,
But you didn't have that as one of the amendments we was gonna talk about. Is it on here?
the discussion is any changes to admin code.
so that makes it broad enough for
That makes it
anything
broad
that would be
enough for
anything under the
This is-
umbrella of the admin code.
This is the avenue I've used to help, try to get them to help across the street. You have the proposal in your packet.
It's behind the bills.
It's behind the what?
Bills.
It's behind the bill.
But that wasn't in what you emailed us yesterday.
No, or writing, no.
Right, from when that was.
No, because I didn't.
You just got it today, yeah.
I didn't know that. We had it fixed twice, and they made repair number 3 that you know. And
Is it the tri-state meeting?
it is, yes. It's for $12,560 for 2 units. And you can see the change order, the breakdown there.
I mean, I don't see a problem with this because
Myself, I still like the idea of getting the bids, because I'm not sure if it's a good price or not, but if you have people bidding it, then we know we're taking the less, cheaper of the two, or choosing between the two and the difference of substitute.
What if your wife works over there and it's 90 degrees?
She'd be sweating. I'll tell her, I don't know.
Is this the only bid you attempted to get, or is this the bid we got because of?
Because they have the preventative maintenance agreement with the county.
Okay. All right,
And I've got them to come out and take a look at it.
okay. So then
Yeah, this
we've
is
already got
something
the
that
maintenance.
has
Yeah.
the money for guys with the name.
So, what are you asking for again?
I'm
Sorry.
It's like, currently our admin code reads like this. We're required to advertise in a newspaper, prior to bids over, 30,000. And then anything over 3,000, we're required to get 2 quotes.
You sure it's 30 and admin code or still 20?
It's 30.
You all, should you change that last year?
We did?
Yep.
I was thinking of 22, I wasn't sure.
Okay, change last year, I don't know
Yeah.
what number we did change.
Yeah.
When that
20 to 30.
statute was amended.
Here's the thing you look at, look at it like this, Court. If the judge brings it in front of the court and we don't agree with it, then we just say reject it, and he has to go back and he gets 2 bids.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
That's true.
Also, this is gonna be through the federal money because it's COVID. The language in it now, it brings COVID into the purchase.
I just think we need to worry about making sure we get the legal wording right, not particularly talking about this across the street, that we can do this, because again, like I said, we're kind of starting to make a mountain out of a molehill. If Myron brings something to us, we don't like it, then the court rejects it, then it gets kicked back to him to go get those 2 bids, and then we're waiting on it.
Right.
We have the power to stop anything that comes across that desk.
You just gotta get the legal wording right.
You just gotta get the legal wording right. I think we're on the same page here. John can get with that, Rich, and find out how we need to word that, but I agree that that's something that we can do. Again, like I said, if we don't like it, then we don't have to accept it. We have that at our discretion. But I do agree that, you know, there may come a time when we need to get something done quick. We may have a fire, we may have all 3 air conditioners going out. And we've got, like you said, we've got renters there, we've got a library to worry about, we've got senior citizens to worry about, we've got the cultural center, we've got a lot of different things can go wrong. I don't know if they ever got fixed, but I think libraries have some air conditioning trouble.
I have a heater unit down there that we were coming in the spring and I didn't fix it.
Okay.
I told them we'd worry about
I know.
it in the next fiscal year.
So on this, we need to have Johnny check on the language, and we can bring the benefit of code up to any time, right? So we can make a bit this one.
Well,
We get to work.
Johnny can find the language, and you all can approve pending Johnny find the language for me to go ahead and get this rolling.
What do you need to get this done tonight?
Well, I would need, in legal, well, I'm not an attorney, but I would think that in tonight's setting, we would need to approve an admin code amendment as such. Johnny find the language, and pending Johnny finding the proper language, I could go ahead and get this project done. Because you would update the admin code with the amendment, and then I could go ahead and get a tri-state, the green light to get rolling over there.
So you just need an amendment or a motion to,
I would need you all to make a motion, right? I need to make a motion to approve Johnny, to find the terminology, to make an amendment to the admin code. Then that would allow me, if you approve that, to go ahead and get the system rolling over here. None of this happens without your approval anyway.
I'll make the motion, we do that.
I'll say,
Or is there any further discussion?
We're kind of voting on something, not knowing what it's saying, so we see what Johnny comes up with.
We're just giving him the right.
The 2 proposals required.
Hey, John,
Yeah.
would you maybe write that down, and we'll make that motion. What it should, write it down, what it should say.
Write down the motion, what it should say.
What it should say, and what it was made.
Yeah.
That way we got it all legal.
And then like you said, moving forward with this anyways is paid out of federal money. It's not like it's coming out of our budget, right?
No.
No.
This is going to be through the ARF.
American Recovery.
I thought ARF, I thought that was the animal rescue fund or something, ARF.
Why don't we just approve this and go on with it? Why change that?
Because it's not on tonight's.
So we can't approve it, because it's not on.
You can't approve a specific transfer of money that's not on an agenda at a special
I
meeting.
understand it.
But by approving this,
Amendment.
it allows me to move forward.
Yeah, it allows you.
And that was on tonight's agenda. But I still can't do this on a regular basis without your approval anyway, and I wouldn't. I know government works slow sometimes, but whenever you have a chance in government to help somebody, and you can expedite it, and you can find the avenue in which to do it in front of you without doing anything that isn't through Robert's Rule of Order, then I think this is helping. We have the tools. We have the proposal in front of us. We have the need. Or I wouldn't have brought this citizens, the folks that are up there.
One thing that concerns me about that, the purpose of the two bids is to know if you got a good deal or not.
That's why I was simple ago.
That's the purpose of the two bids at the beginning.
But again, the only time I would do this is in the position that I'm in right now. What if I can't get another bid for 3 more days?
And we can still kick it back
At
to you.
any given time.
And then you.
If I come to you and ask for this again, you can say, no,
We can ask for the two bids.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, we're making something larger than what it needs to be, because we can reject anything that he puts in front of us.
and I'm not gonna do this on a regular, I'm doing this because.
That's your check and
exactly
balance
what I
with the
told
government.
you now. It's hot over there.
It's hot everywhere.
I've got a unit not working in here, I know it. What, they mentioned? Something's not working, that's not true. It's like-
That's right. Pouring. It was pouring out there a second ago. They said when it flashed flood watch, I think it's working.
This is rain. Baltimore.
That's what I was thinking, there a few minutes ago, 2 or 3 inches.
Oh, yeah, you can work it off. And rain down with the big light.
I did have something that I'd like to see added to the admin code, possibly in the future, that the court agreed to it, is something I just thought about, was when we're getting bids, that whoever proposes the bids, that we get enough copies for every person, because I know the last time we're writing down numbers, we're trying to, and it made it very confusing, but if we had A's bid and B's bid and C's bid laid right out here in front of us for each magistrate, and you to have, I think that would make things a little easier.
In a bid envelope, tell them to put enough in there for every magistrate.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Remind me next month, it'll be a special meeting, but I can bring that forward to you. I'm fine with that.
I just know we sit there cross-talking, wondering, what'd you say? What number was that? How much was that?
Well,
When we take them bids and renew all that stuff, yeah, we're all sitting there writing everything.
And that's good to have for the following year too, so we can go back and we can look and see exactly what we got.
Pretty big envelope.
Well, if they want our business, they don't care the stuff, that's all I got to say.
I don't even know if that had to be an admin code. Before we took the bid, you ought to just say, Judge, we want 8 copies.
Yeah.
Or
Hey,
9.
fine too.
You could ask for as many copies as you want.
I was thinking 9 to 10, because you'd have yours, the magistrates, one for Johnny,
For clerk.
the clerk.
Yeah.
I've got some proposed language, see what you think. These are someone's approval. I make a motion to amend our administrative code to allow our county judge to suspend the 2 proposal requirement in the current code for projects deemed necessary and expedient by the county judge, subject to approval by the fiscal court where delay would cause hardship.
Motion.
Are you all approving that amendment along with these other ones?
No, I would take them one at a time because this was me in front of them. They've not even spoken.
Okay.
So I've got a motion on
That's it, second.
the county attorney's proposed, and I have a second by Emily. Is there any further discussion?
That's fine.
That sounds great.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Good job, John. That's exactly all I
I knew if we give it to John, he'd reel it right in first.
Back in basketball, we would call that a gut check. Just got a gut check. All right. A little extra running, you thought practice was over. I can remember that. I probably had a few of those today. All right, now, going back to the admin code as it sits in front of you. What say you, court? Or what do you see?
Do you need to have a motion made for each individual change you want made and vote on that, or just is the way it's presented here, the changes as they're presented?
If if they can be approved as a whole, if we do them all collectively.
Well, this is the month that it has to be approved.
Yeah.
Well, you can call that up, and you can call it.
Yeah, but if, before the courts, for you
All
all.
the time we can bring it up, it's not to June.
I would say that you can make it again.
A blanket motion, as long as it's all blanketly approved.
It's just these two right here is what it is. It's the two.
There's 3
Three
papers.
pages.
Warren, they are there. Here we go. Yeah. And it's in here. I had one, had an answer.
I'll make a motion, we approve these requested amendments, and a blanket motion is stated here, 3-page document, being presented in fiscal court.
Second.
Have a motion by Chris Dickerson with a second by Dewey Smith. Is there any further discussion? With that said, all in favor, signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Number 3, approve and pay bills.
Make a motion to pay bills.
Second.
Motion by Emily with a second by Chris. Is there any further discussion? With that said, all in favor, signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Number 4, approve interfund budget transfers.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion by Chris with a second by Pam. Is there any further discussion? With that said, all in favor, signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Number 5, open approved sealed bids for ditching. All right, I have 3 bids here. We have one interested party that I can see. There was another gentleman that came in when he asked it. So we'll start with this one. It says Vernon Cox, ditching bid, Elliott County Judge. Is this where you all want the extra copies?
Yep.
I understand. I would be the same as you. Just go back and get it. Okay, now as you recall, prices are to be guaranteed by contractors for 12 months from bid response opening. Now, I'm going to read you any extra that is put on here. At the bottom of the page, someone has written, will not be operating during morning school bus commute. The name of the company is B&R Excavating, and they're out of Olive Hill. Signed as the company representatives are A.J. Reynolds and Vernon Cox. They do have shows 20 years with Walker Company and 10 years with BZAC. They were doing building and ditching, road building and ditching. They do have references here if we want to call. There are 2 references. All right. At the bottom of the page, if you remember, you all have a copy of this. All right. If you remember, it says bid item, ditching, ditch only, one side of road, linear foot is $1.50 per linear foot. The next line says ditching and grading, pull ditch material one side of the road and all the way if close to reincorporating back into the road isn't possible. $1.50 per linear foot. Ditch repair general, and it was decided, we told all bidders that it does not matter if they put anything in there, we would ignore it because they're not really repairing a ditch, they're pulling a ditch. So we told all 3 bidders, no matter what you say there, we're not going to read it. That's Jim Skaggs and myself over that. So we'll just move on. Tile outlet culvert to include inflow, outflow ditch cleaning up to 3 foot wide, $1.50 each. Price they have there. And last, tile outlet culvert to include ditch cleaning, culvert greater than 3 foot wide, $1.50 each. So basically $1.50 down. Straight. Now you all are welcome to look at this if you want to pass it online. Again, I'm a visual guy, so.
Who did you say those people was?
This
Bernie
is,
Cox and-
this is A.J. Reynolds and Bernie Cox is what's on here. And you guys can pass it down. We'll open this one, or do you all want to have a chance to view that?
I say open that, don't say what we got, see it all, we're looking at what we can compare.
Okay, fair enough.
Range here, sound like.
All right, this one says Benita Ison, point of contact Clay Ison, Spice Lake Sandy Hook, Kentucky. They do have references if you all choose to call in or you choose to ask me. All right, ditching, ditch only one side of the road, $1.24. Ditching and grading full ditch material on the side of the road and all the way, if close to incorporating back in the road is impossible, $1.59. And here's where the discrepancy starts between, I think that bid is showing per foot, this is showing per each, if I'm reading this right. So tile outlet culvert to include inflow, outflow, ditch cleaning, culvert up to 3 foot wide, $15 each. So you gotta figure, they're saying $1.50 per foot. This bid, I'm thinking if I'm reading it, it's saying $15 per. Yeah. Greater than 3 foot, which is number 5, is $26 each.
What we looking at most of the tiles being roughly 15 foot?
No, it's $15 per.
No, I'm talking
each.
our tile, clean them out.
Well, if you're cleaning them out, you're cleaning out in behind the tile so the water can run too. They're talking about how much sediment and material they're gonna move from in behind the tile so the tile can flow out.
Okay, so it's not an actual augering through the tile?
No,
Okay.
no. And do it, I'll give this to you.
Thank you.
I've got one more here.
I've got one question on that,
Yeah.
on the cleaning out the tile. You can't go on this bucket, so that's county right?
15 foot from center, so yeah, you could go far.
Right, okay.
Now, obviously, if it's where a hillside is washed down and it's completely mounded over, there's gonna be several buckets.
That's right.
So you would either,
Still only 15 foot.
but you could dip 12 times in that one trying to get that out, or if it's not much there, you're only gonna dip once.
That's right.
So, yeah.
I was just,
I think it is.
Huh?
I think it is.
Yeah, it's public record, it's open for.
there has been times, Myron, in, Carter County, that the ditch, in order to drain that road, has had to go past county driveway on the property owner. And I didn't know if you was going, you know, that presents itself, what you're gonna do. They had to just go get the property owner to agree to go ahead and let us dig that.
The only time-
I ain't talking about no mile, you know, 25 foot.
If the point of contact with your bucket affects the county road in some capacity, or will affect the county road in common sense terms, but but if the point of contact with your bucket is going to affect the county road in some way, the debris that you're going to be removed, and it's within the county right of way, yes, we do want to do it. If the point of contact with your bucket, where you're machine is going to touch private property, I want to make sure the property owner gives us consent to actually go either, and sometimes we do, we'll go off the county road onto their property and come back to the county road. And I always try to ask if the property owner is present, hey, can we do this, is this okay?
And that's, you know, they're particular that we cleaned out each inch of tile, but you have 20 foot, their ditch is filled up. It don't do no good to clean that drain with tile, when water's gonna stop right there. It's like that.
At that point, I would ask you to call me
Right.
or call the road foreman
Yeah.
and let one of us come out and speak to the property owner before we ever move any farther. I don't want to be, maybe they had a geological study going on with that mound of dirt. And they did not want to, or they had a special kind of wildflower or mushroom fixing their, and I don't want to touch it with that. I've seen it already. I just want to make sure that we're dotting i's and crossing t's. All right, so I've got one more here, and it's yours. Tracy Elliott, Wildlife Farms, all of you in Kentucky.
Now, here, these are, excavating, not saying, I mean, they're each on top of this.
So you're asking the same question?
Mike, did you say that DNR excavation, all of their bidding was in linear foot, and the difference was with the ice and dig, that the tile was big each, and
He's bidding per, it appears to me, by looking at what you're looking at, he's bidding per tile, and the other bid in front of you is bidding per linear foot.
well, the other one says each too. They don't say each on bottom.
One says $1.50, one says $1.50, one says $15.
They both say each.
Okay.
But
It's
they
just the same formula, they feel that.
Yeah, it's the same.
same choice.
Yeah, they both say each.
All right. So one's charging,
So
one's
one's
charging.
charging $15 each, and the other one's charging $1.50 each.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
One's charging $26 each, and the other one's charging $1.50.
If the perception you have is exactly what they
Well,
want.
I mean, that's what it says.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it appears to call that linear feet.
Yeah, it's
This
just
is
formula.
per tile.
I thought that I changed it, wrote it in there, but no, it's just formula.
You reckon it's just a mistake on their behalf?
Huh?
Possibly.
What happens if we, let's just hypothetically, they get according to the bid, and they say, well, no. That means,
We don't know that. We can't interject what their bid is. The only thing we can do is read what they presented to us. Is that not right?
True.
But I don't know the answer to that. That's a good question.
You don't have to accept any of the bids tonight.
That's a very good
You
question.
can seek clarification on
I'm
the
going to
bids.
see clarification.
Yeah, because that's a great big difference.
Yeah.
I have one more bid.
Just get one out.
That's only.
Yes. The third and final bid that was presented is from Tracy, Olive, Kentucky. He does have references here if you so choose to either look for yourself or ask me to call. Ditching, this is the first item. By now you've seen kind of where we're at here. Only one side of the road, 53 cents per linear foot. Ditching and grading, full ditch material, one side of the road and all the way if close to incorporating back into road isn't possible. Tracy, I need you to clarify this.
Same thing.
Okay.
If we have to use a truck, it'll be 53 cents when the truck's being used.
Okay, you've got 55 cents.
Or 55, yeah,
Okay,
55.
on your bid. All right, so 55 cents.
Uh-huh.
Tile, outlet, culvert to include inflow, outflow, ditch cleaning, culvert up to 3 foot wide, no charge. Tile, outlet, culvert to include ditch cleaning, culvert greater than 3 foot wide, no charge.
And I have a question, since he's here. Where you said no charge, they put a charge in there. You're just including that in the distance that the ditch. You're done the charge. You're done. I mean, if you ditch, you come to a tile, you clean that out, whether we valleys come into that tile or you got a head wall, then you make a buck or two out, so the water runs out. It's all
All
water.
for that. That makes sense.
Yeah, that would make sense to me, it's just an extra charge there, it's not being really, because it's gotta be done anyway, but even if you're pulling it, it's gonna pull it, so definitely pull it out. Did I clarify that, Judge, for you, on the truck?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The only other thing I've got here says if truck is used, is that an additional 55 cents? If the truck's being used, so you're 53 plus a 55? Yes.
If you have to hurry.
If I have a truck.
But that still is all right.
If,
If you have to
if
hurry.
we throw, you know, if you all are okay with it, we throw it over the hill, you don't have a truck. Gotcha. Put it on the small section, you mean? Yeah. Put it in the small section.
Go find somebody gardening, some different fertilizer.
There you go.
And it is good dirt. Very seldom you come across.
It's dirt, always gonna be good. There's
Come
some
across,
leaves.
a place seen every now and then, most of it's good dirt, if you just want to weed good trash.
Find a Dairy Queen, get throwing out there, bunch of strawberries.
That's fine, more than if you probably already know.
I guarantee it.
It's legal.
Yeah.
Find your bid.
Yeah, unless somebody sent something I did to you, I'm gonna make a motion, we approve Tracy's bid.
Second.
Got a motion by Chris with a second by Charles. Is there any further discussion? Let's say all in favor, signify by saying aye, please. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it.
You ready to copy of mine?
I do. Yes, before you begin, we do need your insurance.
I will.
And you don't file with the treasurer.
So they just email to me or text it to me?
Charles. You can email it to us.
Okay, I'll get your email before.
Okay. I don't have it in front of me, but the last thing on the agenda is to approve to turn the electric on at 504. I have a pole in the ground. I have an approved meter on the pole. I just need your approval to get electric run to that pole.
Okay.
Motion by Bowie, with a second by Emily. Is there any further discussion? That's it, all in favor, signify by saying aye, please. Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Thank you.
I assume we're going to have, like, the gate and stuff.